Well, I just went through the entire introduction of this video and realized that the camera froze the minute I turned it on. Anybody that's already watched the Halloween video knows that I already got the sickle put back together on this. It broke right here. The drive plate did. So took that off, took it home. Dad TIG welded it back together, and then we made a new this plate right here that comes down around back's the wear plate. Made a new one of those. It may or may not hold up because this whole drive plate, actually this and the wear plate were both originally tempered. Now this is just mild steel because obviously we didn't have anything tempered to make it out of. So this may very well just stress crack right next to the weld and re-break, in which case we'll be getting a new one coming tomorrow and we won't be done cutting beans, but gotta try. We had a dew last night, didn't have any breeze, so I did not get over here as early as I would have liked, but now we got a breeze. It's just now noon, so they're still a tad bit tough, but another 30 minutes is going to change that, and I'm not waiting another 30 minutes. We're just going to start cutting. Hopefully, it sounded like Dad's planning on coming over today, so hopefully I got him to run cart, and hopefully things go smooth, but that's all dependent on that sickle drive not breaking, so I guess we can get after it. he had a guy call needing a hydraulic hose made, so he was gonna go to the house and take care of that and dump my truck and then come back. Hopefully these beans make 40 bushel. There's 19 acres here in the front. I think that meant I needed 740 bushel if I remember right when I did the math. So there was 283, I think, on the first load I cut yesterday, and then whatever's on my truck. So anyhow, almost done with the front. All right, the front field's all cut. Dad's on his way back with my truck. He got that hose made, so his truck is almost, I mean, I could probably fit another half a dump in it. But I'm gonna have him take that in because the front field and the back field were planted to two separate varieties, and I want to keep the yield separate. So I want this field on all its own weigh tickets. with the last truck off the front field a while ago and he ain't been back yet. I know we had to make a, right as he got here with my truck, he got another phone call, had to go make another hose, so he was gonna go do that. Dump his truck and come back, and he ain't been back yet, but I don't know. cutting beans for the year. Thank God. I didn't think we were gonna make it. Of course, if the beans were yielding better out here, we wouldn't have made it. I'd have ran out of truck space, but done is done, right? I'm hoping they average 40. If they could be in the 40s, that would be... I could live with that. Anything under 40 would make me a little sad. But these damn hills out here, once they're dry, and you ain't getting it back. So, nothing you can do about it. But anyway, I'm sure I have more to say, but I'm tired. Me and the 073 have been running for 9 hours straight. I haven't had anything to eat or drink since noon. I'm tired. I want to shower. So, yeah. I can't even get my train of thought straight here. Screw it. Instead of ending the video here, we'll get these 2 loads hauled in tomorrow and do all the math and let you guys know how everything turned out. So I guess we'll see you tomorrow afternoon, unless it's raining, in which case we won't haul them in, and I'll figure something else out to end the video. So until then. Okay, so plans ended up changing a little bit. I finished up cutting beans on Sunday night. That's where we left you, and now this is Tuesday. Yesterday afternoon kind of turned into a Chinese fire drill because it was supposed to be raining. So I wasn't expecting to be able to do anything. I was just going to haul them beans in. Well, it didn't rain. It actually turned out to be a pretty nice day. It was cloudy, but it was nice and warm and had a light breeze. And other than being cloudy, it was a beautiful day. Do you need to go outside? Is that why you're getting antsy? It's raining. She'll be back. So anyway, I had not planned on doing anything because I was figuring on it being raining. I think everybody was figuring on it being raining. Because everybody yesterday seemed to be in a, oh shit, it's not raining, we can still do stuff. So there was a lot of guys got finished up cutting beans yesterday that otherwise wouldn't have. But anyway, I got both those loads of beans hauled in, got the 7300 back to my house, got the head off, got it put in the barn. Still need to get it cleaned up, but at least it's under a roof. And it was by that point, it was damn near dark, but it wasn't raining yet. So I was like, shit. So I had Dad grab the 1950T. He came back here and that little field up here down the road, and I got wheat planted on it. Finished up about 9 o'clock. So I damn near grabbed the camera, but I'm not really set up. This thing doesn't like videoing too much at night, especially on the 66 with them 6-volt lights. And to tell you the truth, it was kind of nice to just hop on a tractor and go enjoy a night and not have to worry about dragging a camera around. So it turned out to be a pretty decent little evening. But anyway, I told you before, when I told you I was going to let you know how them 2 fields turned out. I don't trust these numbers. So I went, and actually what I've been doing on a lot of the fields I wasn't too sure on the acreage is I've been going back and getting on Web Soil Survey and doing satellite maps. And they've been coming out pretty damn close to what I thought the ground was. These 2, because this field was bigger, I couldn't, you can't zoom in on it far enough to get a not very pixelated. I mean, it looks clear until you try to view like the field boundary, and then the boundary is all pixelated. I have never got anywhere near 40 acres on the drill counter all 3 times I've run the drill across that ground. I've always been between 38 and 30, well, about 38 and a half. The front field has always been about 18. The back field has always been about 19. Well, I did a satellite map of it and came out the front field at 20, the back field at 20 and a half. I don't trust that. And the reason I don't trust it is, like the backfield, for instance, one round around the outside of that field with a 10-foot drill is an acre. So 10 foot if I had a 10-foot margin of error around that boundary trying to do a satellite map, it's really easy to pick up an acre that way. So I did the bushel count on these off of what the satellite map is, but I don't trust those numbers. I'm more apt to trust the drill because the drill's been closer to reality. So if I do it off of the drill, they were both over 40 bushel an acre. This one was about 42, and this one was 41 and a half. If I go off of what the satellite map is telling me, the front field at 39 and a half and the back field at 37. I tend to trust the drill numbers better, but now that I've told that story, if I tell you the yields based off of the drill counter, somebody's gonna fucking troll and bitch that I'm giving you padded numbers, so I'm gonna give you the ones off of the satellite map just to keep people from being stupid. I think these numbers are slightly lower than what they should be. So anyway, I'm still not that far out of range because everybody I've been talking to, I think it's fair to say that the collective average yield around here on beans is falling somewhere between about 35 and 45 bushel an acre this year. Beans are just pitiful. And we were just cutting some for my boss today because it wasn't raining this morning, so we went and cut more of his beans. I mean, we were cutting beans that were yay tall and loaded with pods, but you go and you start pinching on the pods. There's 3 bean pods with 1 bean in them, 2 bean pods with no beans in them, 4 bean pods with 2 beans. It makes you kind of sad because even with good plant structure, you know that there's more yield potential there because the pods were big, but they started aborting beans when they started running out of water. So that's the part that makes you a little bit upset about it, is you know damn well without any denial whatsoever, just looking at the pods, they had more yield potential if they had more water. But I think that's the theme of 2022, at least in this area, is it looks better than it was. That's kind of what me and my boss were talking about earlier today. So I mean, yeah, they suck, but I don't think they're any better or any worse than anything. And I've heard guys cutting down into the low 20s. Buddy of mine just sent me a Snapchat yesterday. He cut a field of beans that averaged, it was 15 or 18 off like a 20-something acre field. So it's just beans this year were just pitiful. Corn? I'm not saying it's spectacular, but corn this year is holding its own. Beans, on the other hand, they either did or they didn't. And we'll talk about it more when I do my yearly recap video where we go through all the yield data and stuff that I got and whatnot. So I won't go too much further down that rabbit hole until we get to that point. But so that's where we're at. Could have been better. Definitely could have been a lot worse. So one thing I will say, the weaknesses of that sickle bar, the stubby guards and the multiple point sections on that white head I got really reared its ugly head this year, especially in short beans and spots where the population was sparse. It cut like shit. I bet there's spots where I was probably losing 1.5 bushel to 2 bushel an acre just because the head wasn't cutting worth of shit. Plus, beans were cutting so dry this year. Most of the beans I cut were well under 11. Luckily, I didn't cut anything under 10 because then they'd start docking you for too dry. But I was seeing a lot of sickle shatter this year too. So I don't know if I need to look in. I'm almost inclined to look at converting it into just standard long point guards and regular 3-inch sickle sections. I need to grab a couple, or a sickle section and a guard off the love bar on the 525 and see if the bolt holes line up and everything, and see if I can make those work, because I love them carry sickle sections. Those things wear like iron. They don't break. I have never, I think the entire time I've had that 525 since I put the carry sickle sections on it, I think I've actually only broke one. I've bent some, but I think I've only actually ever physically broke one. And those carry sickles, I don't know what they make them things out of, but those sickles are amazing. And the other thing I gotta do, the center of that head keeps trying to plow. It was fine up until we got that inch of rain last week and the ground was firm. It hardly did it. And then once we got that rain and we go through spots where the ground was a little soft, or especially if you go through spots where the ground was sticky, the center wanted to plow. And I don't know if it's because I'm leaning toward the skid plates being wore out. I don't know. I gotta do some looking into that, because that's really annoying when you're cutting along and all of a sudden you got a dirt pile in the center of the head. But like I say, I really only noticed it does it the worst when the ground is sticky. It's like it sticks to the front of the skid plate and it just starts piling up over top of the bar from there. And then once it gets bean stems and stuff in it, it like wraps around the sickle, and the only way to get rid of it is to stop, pick the reel up, back out of the pile, and then you can keep going. But last year was a lot worse than what it was this year. We're gaining on it, but I don't know if poly on the skid plates is the answer, or if making bigger skid plates is the answer. So if I remember right, in the parts book, it shows extensions for those skid plates. And also, I have, as long as they still got it, I kind of actually forgot about it till a couple days, or actually, I think when I was cutting beans Sunday, I was thinking about it. I had somebody, well, Jake Ziegler, a lot of you probably remember him. They were cleaning some stuff out, and they got a 13-foot parts head like mine. And they told me I could have it for scrap price. I never got time to go down and do it. Well, this winter, with the new job, I should have plenty of time to go do it. I need to go get that. And maybe I can just add more skid plates. Because if you look at like a John Deere, like say 213 Flex or whatever, it's got, you know, skid plates all the way across the bottom. There is no individual. It's just all the way across. So maybe that's what I need to do to make it perform better in softer ground. But I really would like to look into converting it, and I'm kind of glad that I don't know. I don't know if I need to go, if it would work better once I go through and replace all the bottom guards, or if it's still just going to be not that great and I just need to convert it to the full-size sickle sections with regular wraparound rock guards. I don't know. I hate to spend all the money to put all new guards on it the way it is, to turn around next year and still have it cut like shit, and then throw all that money away to turn, I don't know. I'm more inclined to do the conversion if I can find parts that will fit. So, but anyway, this has already gotten too long, so, and all you've been doing is sitting here staring at a bench listening to me talk. So I guess it's raining today. I'm not going to do a whole lot, and I think it's supposed to rain tomorrow, so I'm probably not going to do a whole lot. But I do think I'm going to bring that little 112 up here and tinker with it a little bit. So that'll probably be the next video. So I guess with that being said, that's it for this one. We'll catch you guys on the next one.